In today's economic climate, organisations face the challenge of managing finite budgets while ensuring robust cybersecurity measures. CISOs I've been speaking to in Australia have said that they have flat or reducing budgets, but with vendor costs increasing by 1.5 to 2 times. This creates a huge challenge for them. Welcome to Series 2 of Monday Minutes, Episode 7. It's Andrew Philp, and today we have an important discussion ahead on the topic of balancing risk and finite budget. If you've missed any of the previous episodes, go back and have a binge, where you can hear from speakers on topics like AI and zero trust. But for now, joining us for this insightful conversation are our returning guests, David Chow and Edwin Hernandez. This time we'll dive into Edwin's perspectives of cybersecurity and risk management. Over to you, David.
Hi everyone, this is David Chow again. We're having the second part with Edwin today to talk about cybersecurity and risk management. As you heard from the last episode, Edwin actually talked about artificial intelligence, implication of it, as well as ways to safeguard secure artificial intelligence. So today we're going to talk about risk management. So Edwin, what is your perspective of cybersecurity as well as risk management?
Absolutely. And thank you for having me back. Look, the cybersecurity and risk management are essential to today's organization's strategies. And it's important that you have visibility into your environment, understand what you have, and that's why it's important to have a framework. And that framework has to be trained, people have to understand, your employees have to understand that they have to be trained. You also have to make sure that the environment is well protected. You have to regularly make sure that you update your systems, your applications, your firmware with the latest security patches. And you have to continuously monitor the environment to protect your information assets, to make sure that you safeguard all these sensitive data that you have in your organization, so you have any security breaches. And you have to continuously adapt to the multiple cybersecurity threats that are just coming out and evolving and changing all it.
Yeah, you're giving us a lot of tips related to safeguarding as well as the issues related to cybersecurity. Any organization, and for example, your organization, MIT, like it or not, you're an executive there. When you face a situation where you have finite budget, how do you deal with the prioritization, especially related to risk management in a relationship to the cybersecurity? How do you actually handle that situation, balancing, on one hand, you have finite budget, on the other hand, the cyber threat that you have to manage?
Well, this is, it has to be, if you have, you have to balance the budget, you have to balance the security posture. You cannot compromise your security. So everybody has to step in. You have to be one team, and you have to bring everybody together in the organization to work towards making sure that your organization is protected. Yes, there are reasons, you have to be able to balance it, but at the same time, you have to find the resources and bring everybody together if you are short in finance, cybersecurity. But just, you have to invest. You have to invest money in cybersecurity. I mean, like I mentioned before, cybersecurity is crucial in today's world because we're interconnected. So, yes, I understand that there might be some budget constraints, but you have to figure out how to make it work and make sure that you secure your environment.
So one of the examples that a lot of people talked about was going through a risk prioritization, right? So based on industry best practices, based on a risk score assigned based on the industry best practice, or potentially that depending on different organization, you actually prioritize those risks based on what's tolerable within the organizational risk management framework. Do you guys also practice something like that, or from your perspective and also from your past experience, well, you were a consultant in the past, so do you also see that as a way to sometimes battle this finite budget, the budgetary issue, especially with the economic headwinds that everybody's facing right now?
And at MIT Lincoln Lab, we do a lot of top secret, and so we have had to prioritize our budget to make sure that we have enough resources from personnel to finance to cover all the cost, because we cannot afford a cyber incident. And so you know, in our case, in Lincoln Labs, we have to make sure that security is a priority, and we have to find ways to make sure we cover what the resources needed to make sure we protect top secret data. In a consulting role in the past, there are some organizations that they don't pay as much attention to security, at least in the past. Hopefully nowadays, organizations are paying more attention and really setting up a budget. You have to definitely have it as a top priority to set up a budget for cybersecurity and the right resources, so you can have the right resources and the right technologies that can help you safeguard your information. You cannot afford to have a cybersecurity incident. It could damage your reputation. You can have financial losses, and a lot of various things can happen to your organization if you don't protect your data. So it's important that somehow you find those resources to finance cybersecurity.
Yeah, you actually bring up a lot of good points in just one answering that one question, because a former government employee myself, that I know exactly what you're talking about in terms of dealing with sensitive information. At times, government secret or sensitive information, and there's also reputational risk involved. Right? In the private industry, obviously, a lot of the if there's potential breaches or even breaches that happen, it resulted in reputational risks, as well as at times a monetary loss from either credit monitoring or potentially monetary loss from just the stock price tumbling because the loss of confidence. That's a lot of concerns lately in the past few years, especially with the rampant ransomware cyber attacks. And so I absolutely agree with you with your everything that you just talked about. So thank you again, Edwin, for being with us. This is really my pleasure for hosting you, but at the same time, it's great to be back on campus. And it is. And I know that we're going to do much more of these together. So definitely tap into your expertise and having you to share more, and provide that thought leadership to our audience.
So I'm looking forward to. And greetings to AMP 204.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, David and Edwin, for sharing your expertise and experiences with us, discussing the need for visibility, training, continuous monitoring, and risk prioritization to protect sensitive data. Trend Vision One has been designed as a single platform to take control of risks by understanding, quantifying, and managing risk. Not only that, but ESG research showed a 65% reduction of overall TCO in taking this approach. In a fortnight, I'm very excited to hear from a distinguished AI futurist in Singapore to discuss how AI is transforming the cybersecurity arms race. We can't wait. Forget about Monday blues, grab your tea or coffee and join us for Monday Minutes. See you then.